I want to introduce you to my favorite concept in the world of prompt engineering called prompt priming. So just to simplify what prompt priming is, basically the idea is that you give these models like ChatGPT sort of a warm-up exercise. You give it some context before you even ask your question. That way it has some understanding of what you want. So you kind of warm it up and you're going to get a far better result. And this way, all these AIs get guided towards a really desired response before you even ask a question. And I'll share some examples here. And with each of these examples, you'll see the prompt priming is really designed to establish kind of a style beforehand. It will get the idea of a tone beforehand or the context. So these examples are going to be handy. Again, we'll use ChatGPT, but prompt priming works across all the different language models like Bard and Bing as well. So here I'm going to use the prompt priming. So the priming is this. You are a historian analyzing an ancient civilization. So I now primed it. I put it in the place I want before I give it my main prompt. And then I could follow up with my main prompt. So this is kind of the formula for these prompt priming. I'm going to show you more advanced things with prompt priming too. But with the prompt, again, I primed it with this sentence. And then the prompt was this sentence. So if I just said explain the importance of discovery of Rosetta Stone, and that's going to give me some sort of response, but this is going to give me a much better response. Okay, so this is the idea of prompt priming, basically giving us some context before we start. And this is, again, gets more advanced, but I'll show you these basic priming prompts, and then I'm going to even show you how to teach it your own writing style too in a different video with priming. Again, all these are included in the resource, but this time the prime is, imagine you are an astronaut in an international space station. So I set the scene this time, right? So with these prompt primes, you could set the scene or give it a tone or set a style, and then everything else will change on what it's going to do next. And then again, I'm going to delete that. And then the actual prompt is describe what you see when you look out the window, but I set the stage first with my prime, and that's going to give me a very specific type of answer this way. I'll give you a couple more examples here. This time, the priming prompt is you are a world-renowned chef with a specialty in Italian cuisine. And then the prompt is explain to me how to make the perfect pasta, right? So this is really interesting because now it's going to kind of have a different tone. It's going to understand itself as something else. And this is going to give us a much more involved answer than what would we get if we didn't prime it this way. Now here's another one. So the prime is you are a financial advisor explaining concepts in a simpler term. Then the prompt is break down the concept of compound interest for a beginner. And this time, because it put itself in a position of financial advisor, it gave me a better response than if I didn't give it any type of prompt priming. Okay, this last one is my favorite because this is a formula that you could copy and paste and fill in the blanks here. So you are an expert in a field of whatever industry you want to ask a question about. Before answering my question or completing my task, please ask any clarifying question you may have to ensure that you can deliver the best possible answer. Then you ask your question. Your task is, then you give it a task. Please use your expertise and knowledge to provide a detailed response that answers all aspects of the question. If you need any additional information, please ask to clarify before you complete the task. Because a lot of times you'll notice these type of language models, especially ChatGPT, will give you a huge answer right away, but it's not the right type of a direction. So this way you prime it, it asks you the type of question. So I'll fill this out and I'll press enter. And basically I filled out the blank and asked it to be my digital marketer and help me advertise an online platform, this online platform, and to give me a bunch of different ideas in a numbered list. So this kind of prompt priming, you'll get a really complete answer most of the time. If it gets confused and it doesn't know about that topic, it follows up with questions right away before spitting out a list. But I went through this list and it's exactly my business model that I've refined over a long time. So this is really, really interesting because it told me exactly what to do. I've done things like content marketing, social media marketing. I've ran paid ads. I've done my email marketing. So it told me all the different things that I've already actually put into practice, but a couple of different ones I haven't yet. So this is really, really, really useful way to prompt prime. I'll show you some other ones as we go. Again, we're still in the beginning stages and we'll build up on this in the next few videos.